record this. Let's get the party started. Just to kind of preface the call before we get into our guest featured IM member and trader today, I just want to kind of set a couple things, go over a few things that I think a lot of people may not be aware of. I'm going to share my screen in just a sec so you guys can see. But just for those of you that don't know who I am, whether you're already on the team or maybe you came across this video on YouTube or somebody shared it with you, my name's Abigail Poston, 26 years old, out here in Arizona. I've been a part of this movement, this online academy for the last 3.5 years. And I can tell you guys, we are just getting started. Just know that if you're on this call right now live with us, I appreciate you. And if you're watching the recording, we appreciate you and are looking forward to you joining our team and really being a part of what we're doing, helping people become financially educated, and honestly, just taking advantage of the digital space with one of the best skill sets that you can honestly equip yourself, not just right now, but really long term. So guys, I just want to say, grab a pen and paper if you don't already have one. I've got mine right here because I know our featured trader today, she's going to be dropping some nuggets, so I'm going to be ready to take notes. But I want to just kind of say this too. The purpose of these calls, I don't like just kind of doing calls for the sake of doing calls. I like to have a purpose behind them and letting you guys know why we're here as well. But really the main purpose and the goal of these are to, wherever you're at in your journey, build your belief, okay, better your results, and be able to relate to the guys that are and the girls that are coming on here, their stories, their trials, their tribulations, what they've gone through, what they've experienced, and what they can share with you to say, hey, it doesn't matter where you are in your life, whether you haven't joined the academy yet, maybe you're within your first couple days, your first week, your first couple months of the academy, you guys are in a good place. As long as you're staying around the campfire, you're plugging in, you're staying consistent, asking questions, we just want to make sure and help you stay on track for success. I've been doing this for the last 3.5 years, and I know if it wasn't for this community and the people around me, I wouldn't be here today, and I wouldn't been able to create the success I have financially through this skill set without people like you guys. So that's the purpose of these calls. Make sure you guys are paying attention over the next 20 minutes or so. I promise you it's going to be full of value. But first thing that I just want to say, I kind of want to do this on every call just for the new people, so you can make sure that this is where you guys got to start and where you should continue to move, just to make sure you guys are on track in case you missed it. But I'm going to first just show you this really quick, guys. This is the academy. Okay, this is the actual back office. Everyone's going to have something that looks like this. You can put your cool profile picture right here. I'm just playing. But anyways, first things first, guys, is you want to make sure that you're going through, I'm going to click on the FRX series, or let me go to the academies. You want to make sure that you go through right here, FRX Trading English. You guys go through the 100, okay, these videos right here, and the 200 series, these videos right here. There's it'll probably take you 2 hours to go through that. If you want to go back through it again, cool. My cousin, 19 years old, he's on this call right now. I'm going to continue to share this story, but he got started watching me for the last 3.5 years. He got started just a month ago. His first 24 hours, he went through this twice, and he's already on the next step. So guys, make sure when you first get started, you go through here, really build your foundation, have an awareness, and then we can move on to the next step. So that's first. I've got a list right here that I want to make sure I go through. I already kind of covered that. And then the last thing I just want to preface to you guys too is we hear a lot of misconceptions when it comes to trading and what we do with everything. And guys, some of these misconceptions are about time, they're about money, they're about the process as a whole. And I think a lot of times people not only fail and quit, not just with trading, but honestly in anything in life, doesn't matter what you're doing, is because you don't set the right expectations. You don't have that long-term vision, and we want to make sure that you have a system that you can plug into. And I think more than just a system, you have a community that you can go back to and ask questions. So with these expectations, guys, understand this is a long game. We were at an event the other night, and one of the guys there, I really love the way that he says this, is, can you dedicate 5 to 7 hours a week? A lot of people say, this is too, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to do this. It's too time consuming. Well, guys, I do this because I want time freedom. I'm on the charts maybe, 3-4 hours a week, and that's it. and I go out and I do whatever else I need to do. I'm not working a job. This is all I do. I trade for a few hours a week. I stack my account and I move on. And for me, I build the business. I do what I want to do. So I want to just kind of debunk that misconception is trading is not designed to take up your time. It's actually supposed to give you time freedom back. And be able to multiply the money that's in your account. And I want to say this last thing, and I'm going to bring up our special girl today. But guys, the biggest thing that I've learned just recently, I actually read an article about it. It was dated in December 2019. I can only imagine what it is right now. But the average person, most people have, they barely see $1,000 in their bank account at all times. And if you really think about it, that was me for, just after I graduated college, all through college, I barely had $500 to my name. But most people never see more than $1,000 in their account at one time, and most people who go their entire lives never seeing more than $10,000 in their bank account. And I say this because most people, and guys, I'm not down on jobs. I had a job for the longest time. I just want to paint a bigger picture that if you're living paycheck to paycheck but don't really like the work that you do, we've got to create another source of income so you can go out and fund other areas of your life. That's what this is about. This is not to take away. This is actually to add value to your life. But what I'm saying is most people are willing to dedicate 30, 40, 50 years. I've seen it. My family, my mom, my dad, my grandparents dedicate 30, 40, 50 plus years of their life to a job or multiple jobs to hopefully end up with 30%, of their entire income with their retirement, right? But most people cannot dedicate 3 to 5 years to learning a skill set that is directly correlated to multiplying money, learning how money works and getting money to work for them, and actually getting financially educated. 3 to 5 years to set you up for the rest of your life. That's what I tell people. You can put towards 5 to 7 hours a week, you're in a good position. So hopefully that sticks with you. Hopefully you guys got some value just out of this opening. But I'm going to step out of the way of greatness. And guys, if you haven't heard, this call is more of a Q&A style. So it's not just somebody talking the whole time. We're going to have a conversation. It's going to be fun. You guys can really see this girl's journey and other people every single week. But this individual that I'm going to bring on, her name is Kaitlyn Byrd. She's out in Michigan. She's going to kind of share with you a little bit about herself. She's been a part of this platform for a little over 3 years. And I remember when we first met, it was actually through somebody else. Kaitlyn was trying to learn this. She'll tell you a little bit more, but I just remember this was a girl that was coming in super hungry, had a desire in her eyes to just be something more. She's been coachable from the beginning, super valuable person in my life, always like bringing gems and nuggets my way whenever we have conversations. It's not just about, it's not even about gossip. It's not even about people. It's just like, ideas and making things happen. And I've seen this girl grow from the last 3 years. Did I meet you when you were like 20? And then it's crazy. And so now this individual, she's been rocking with me as a friend and as a business partner. And it's just so humbling for me to be able to see people come in here and really grow and transform themselves, not just on a financial level, but really, guys, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So, Kaitlyn, if you can unmute yourself, turn on your camera, let the people see you, and just kind of share with us a little bit more about you, where you started out and everything, and kind of like your background and stuff, if you want to just kind of touch on that first.
Okay, hi, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. So yeah, like Abby said, my name is Kaitlyn Byrd. I'm from Michigan, and I've been in IM since 2017. And kind of the reason why I got started with IM was, like she said, we had a mutual friend, and at the time I was in this group chat with these traders, and they would always send messages that I just didn't understand. And when my friend checked up on me, like, hey, how is trading going? Like, do you like it? And I was like, yeah, dude, I just don't really understand the chat. I don't know what buy stop is. Like, I didn't know what any of that meant, And so he's like, oh, well, that's cool. I actually know someone that, trades. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, it's a girl. So, and I was like, wow, a girl? Like, cause I don't know, when, starting out, you think of business and you think of males. And so I was just like, wow, this is incredible. So he introduced Abby and I in 2017, and I got started like instantly with the platform. And at the time, I was in college. I was about to go into my second semester, and I changed my major from nursing to business because, I thought I was going to be this big businesswoman, like professional. And, Forex, even just finding out the surface level of what it was, I knew it was something that I wanted to get into because the reason I quit nursing was the lifestyle, having to wake up early or even do third shift. And, I'm thinking about when I have kids. So really thinking about the bigger picture. And that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to wake up and, I want to wake up, make breakfast and do all of that type of stuff, like soccer mom stuff. So it just didn't make sense to me. Like having a job didn't make sense. And so when I met Abby, I did get started right away and I started learning. But I knew I got started when I was 19, and I knew, everything that was happening in my life. I actually got diagnosed with a cataract and it was crazy. So I couldn't see. And yeah, so I was like, well, something needs to change in my life. I want to be educated on Forex. I want to learn more. So that's kind of, how I got started and why I got started and kind of my background with that.
Sheesh, 19. All right. I knew I was like 19 or 20. Yeah. All right, cool. So you kind of gave us a little bit of that. Can you touch on really briefly, like, because you were trying to like learn how to trade, but you weren't with the right group and it was confusing, whatever. Why did you decide to join? Because there's a lot of things out there. Why did you decide to join specifically, at the time iMarkets Live, now I Am Master Academy? And why are you still here?
Well, I'm still here because, the culture is amazing. I've been learning so much. I've grown as a person. And really, it's just crazy. At the time I was learning through baby pips, and it's cool, but it's not really like, it doesn't really explain as much as I Am does. It goes in detail with the videos. You have live educators. It's just a completely different experience, going from that just online learning to, you have people in your corner, people really trying to see you succeed. And that made like such a big difference.
Facts. Alex and I were talking about this the other day. Like, if you're trying to take trading seriously, I've never met a professional trader or somebody that's made, multiple 5, 6, 7 figures learning from just baby pips. So it doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, where'd you learn? Baby pips, I got you, girl. Okay, so obviously I sent you a list of questions. I don't know if I'm gonna go through all of them. We'll see how much time we've got, because I definitely want to respect everybody's time on here. But the platform itself, before I ask you what do you use, I want to ask you this, because this is so important. You've been here for 3 years. A lot of people ask me like, yo, why are you still with the academy? And for me, it's super simple. I'm like, I'm always a student. You don't know what you don't know. And financial literacy is not just a one-time thing, right? It's ongoing. And with the economy always moving and evolving, I always want to stay up to date with what's going on and how to position myself. So just to kind of give you some preface on that, but this platform we know is so much more than just trading. What else do you personally get from it?
Okay. So the culture is everything, I think. It's a different energy. Like it's such a different level to be with people who have goals, and, it's just you're in alignment with everybody. So it's just really nice and really different than doing the typical, 20-year-old party, go out, social life type of stuff. You know what I mean? It's so different because I feel like you're just setting yourself up to win. And yeah, I think as an individual, I've met people who have helped me grow, shown me areas like Daniela with, being spiritual, like that helped me a lot. Chris Derrick being spiritual, and then the personal development is like so important. So I feel like, before trading, I would kind of watch some videos like that. I was reading books about business and things, but before actually getting involved with the culture, I didn't really know what personal development was, if that makes sense. I didn't know that reading books was personal development. So
Facts. That was actually a question I was going to ask you, but since you brought it up, let me dive into it. So you talked about personal development. A lot of people, I'll ask them, what kind of personal development do you do? Who do you listen to? Who do you, read or whatever? But they'll ask me like, what is personal development? So, and that's okay. I didn't know what it was either at first, but can you kind of touch on like, what does personal development mean to you?
Yeah. I think personal development can be a lot of different things. Audiobooks, YouTube videos. I really think it depends on who you're listening to. And something that I kind of answered the question that you sent me was, you know, what is personal development? And I kind of like really thought about it. And I don't think that personal development is so surface level, like just knowing the marketing. I think it goes inward. What do you need to work on as a person to become the best version of yourself? Like, what awareness, like, do you have of yourself to make those steps forward? Going to therapy and things, people think it's like related to depression, but I also think it's related to, how can I become a better person? When I was in therapy, my therapist, she gave me the Gallup test. It kind of taught me more of my top 5 strengths and things like that. And it kind of just made sense. It gave me more awareness of, where do I need to work on? I think it goes into different categories. So, I'll listen to Robert Kiyosaki when it comes to financial education, but then I'll go and watch this one therapist also, during quarantine. I'll go and watch this therapist on YouTube for like inward things.
Wow. I hope you guys are taking some notes. That was good. I like that. So kind of, your personal development is obviously catered and subjective to you as a person, and it says it in it, but like, what do you want to develop? And you go inward to kind of really do that. Is that right?
Yeah.
I like that. Appreciate you for being vulnerable too and transparent with everyone. All right, let me take it back. I want to go into the academy and just kind of give people some perspective here. So, since you've been with the academy, what educators and even tools have you found to really be the most helpful, and why?
Okay. So my whole goal of joining IM was to have that skill set of trading Forex, independently. It's really cool because there are tools like SwipeCoin and Harmonic Scanner that I really utilize and obviously go live with the educators. Chris Derrick, Jean-Marc, and Stevenson Lindor, they have definitely provided me with the education that I needed to be self-sufficient with trading. So that's kind of where I am with that.
So it's cool because a lot of people on here, the last few calls, they've all really said, a lot of them have said Stevenson Lindor, and he was somebody that I was watching for a really long time, and he helped me with a lot of different things. So cool. Chris Derrick, Stevenson Lindor, and then you said Jean-Marc?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Can you tell everyone what they kind of teach on, just so if they're interested, they can go check them out?
So when I got started trading, I kind of like to use indicators. So Stevenson Lindor, he goes over the MACD and kind of how to use that and kind of, recognize natural support and resistance levels and highs and lows in the market to get in. So I really like that because that resonates with me on a deeper level, starting out with the MACD and then being able to use it again. Chris Derrick is all about like naked charting. So it's all support, resistance, watch for breakouts, retests. And Jean-Marc, he shows a strategy that you can use at Asian session, and he'll go to the daily, look at the candle, and based on the candle, you use a Fibonacci, and then you go down to the lower time frame and you use it that way. And it's really helpful. Something that Stevenson said on one of the last sessions that I watched of his was that you don't have to use one person's strategy. Like, you don't have to use one educator's strategy. If it works for you, because it's so personal, trading is very personal, use multiple together. Whatever you see in the market, it makes sense. So since I've been doing that, it's been helping me become, a better trader.
Dang. Y'all see this girl? She knows what she's talking about. In a nutshell, there's no secret sauce. It's whatever is custom to you, whatever you see is, most relatable to not only your learning style, but really your lifestyle, because we all come from different backgrounds. We all do different things. And when she talks about, for those of you that are newer or haven't even gotten started yet, all the different things that she was talking about with indicators and, price candles, support, resistance, all that stuff, it's just a fancy way of saying these are my confirmations of when to get in and out of the markets. Everyone's are going to be different. That's why we have an academy that walks you through everything, and you can kind of pick and choose and practice what works best for you. I say that? Cool.
Yeah.
All right, girl. Let's go another like 7 minutes because I do want to respect everybody's time. But you've been drilling through these questions, so hopefully everybody's getting some value from this so far. I really, really, really wanted to ask you this question because I think it's so important. I see a lot of people, like I talked about earlier, they quit before they get started, if that makes sense. And I see this time and time again. The expectations aren't there. They don't see the long-term vision, and then they cut themselves too short. And they don't really give themselves time to actually flourish with their skill set because they quit too early. So I wanted to ask you, what would you say are like your top three or top few things or maybe traits that you believe have helped you create your own success with this?
Okay, so I would definitely say, doing the Gallup thing helped me look inward. So personally, for me, being disciplined, having a learner trait is definitely helpful. And then also something that's kind of different, it's a futuristic thinker trait. And I can basically paint the picture of something that's not there yet. So my future is kind of like I can see it even though it's not there yet. And I feel like that helps a lot. And obviously, personal development is everything. So I would say that that helps a ton.
Dang. Okay. I've been seeing like discipline a lot lately. And I think that's one of it's the most talked about, but it's the most not done thing.
Mhm.
Like a lot of people will do a lot of things, but they won't discipline themselves long enough for those behaviors to become automatic, for those behaviors to become habitual. So I think
Mhm.
that's super powerful and almost like having a vision for yourself, right? Like you said, futuristic thinking, long-term
Mhm.
vision, being able to kind of see that play out in your mind. Is
Yep.
that what you're meaning? Cool. I'm just recapping what you said. And then just almost always just being a student in a way. You
Mhm.
don't know what you don't know. That's your mentality.
Yep.
And then
Definitely.
obviously personal development.
Yep.
All right, for those that wanted the recap, that's what it was. Katelyn, that's awesome. All right, let's do last couple here. All right, this will be good. Let me just see if I can run through these because these are the last few. What has been the biggest mental, or this is a great question, but I say it a lot, but what has been the most biggest mental or even emotional challenge you've had to overcome on your journey, or maybe
Mhm.
something that you're experiencing right now?
Yeah. So for me personally, I definitely like I keep saying, looking inward, but really everything is about, what you're saying to yourself every day. So that kind of goes into belief, but also, what have you been programmed since you were a kid? Like that's so important because I feel like it definitely affects you when you're this age and you're like, "Oh, well who am I? Well, what am I trying to do?" And I feel like being able to look inward and really work on my mental every day has helped a lot with that.
So almost like what's the narrative you're telling yourself? What's the story
Mhm.
you're telling yourself? Am I good enough? Am I worthy enough?
Mhm.
All these other things. That's kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah, self-beliefs, like what have you been programmed into your mind since you were a kid to believe? And, sometimes it's hard because you have to like kind of like undo that. And that's the hardest process I think because, your emotions with trading, like you have to have that under control.
I got you. I love that. All right, cool, girl. Kate, I just want to say, like, you're giving really, really detailed responses, but you're very like simple and straightforward and to the point about them. And I just want to applaud you for that because I've seen you from the beginning, like public speaking. I know there's quite a few people on here, 12 people. That's
Mhm.
really cool. But I've seen you from the beginning and see you grow, not just overall with your trading skills, but like your speaking skills, and being able to see you just kind of like translate your responses in just a really concise way. It's really helpful for people to understand where you're coming from and sharing that perspective. So we appreciate you for that. Um,
Thank you.
Last couple questions, we'll wrap this up. But I really want you to tell the people how did you establish a routine or a schedule for yourself that includes trading in your day-to-day lifestyle? And just before you answer, because I know I mentioned this earlier in the call, a lot of people say, I don't think I'm going to have time for trading, time to learn this. Well, we make time for things, you know, just tell us straight up, this isn't a priority. And I think you say, you know, you mentioned that a lot, but can you kind of tell us how you established a routine or a schedule that has included trading in your day-to-day lifestyle?
Yeah. So honestly, I'm a morning person, so I wake up early and I like New York session. So what I'll do in the morning is I'll straight work out because, you know, it clears your mind, it gets you ready for the day. So I work out right in the morning and then I get on the charts. And then every day, what I make a priority is to watch at least one go live session. So that's done. Do personal development, whether I'm cleaning or driving or whatever. And then I also watch or rewatch an academy video just to constantly keep that, you know, programmed into your mind like every day.
So you'll bang it out right in the morning.
Yep.
Done. What do they say? Repetition is the mother of all skill, and you're a breathing example of that. And what was the other word? We were talking about this the other day. Consistency. Whatever
Yeah,
you want in life,
100%.
just be. Yeah, touch on that. Touch on that. I don't need to say. You touch on it.
Consistency?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, something I heard, I don't know what I was listening to, some personal development, and they said, you know, standards are what form your habits. So where are your standards with your health? Where are your standards with, you know, your priorities? You know, trading, like trading is such a big thing, you know what I mean? Like if you what I hated about a 9 to 5 is you wake up and you go straight to work and then you come home and whatever energy you have left you're putting into it. And I feel like it should be the other way around, you know, consistency with what's going to get you to hit those goals, you know?
Wow. You said standards form your habits.
Yeah, your standards. Yeah.
Sheesh, man. Sheesh. All right. Y'all are really personally developed. I appreciate that. Um, all right, girl. Last question from me. And then we'll let you close out with any, you know, closing thoughts. But just to kind of take a twist and a turn on this, because we've been talking a lot about routine and not just trading, but just like kind of the expectations of everything in your journey so far, and what you've learned in your perspective. But there's another side to this whole academy and this whole platform that most people either aren't even aware of, never take advantage of, or have a negative stigma about. And I want you to kind of touch on that and maybe educate some people that are on here right now that aren't aware, or anybody that comes across this video. And you and I both know what I'm about to ask, but basically, why did you decide to share this academy and help people overall?
Yeah. Well, obviously going into nursing, I've always known like I want to help people in some way. But this is like a whole different way. Like, where else can you go that you teach people, you know, how to make money, how to be financially educated? Like, it's very rare, I feel like, that people stumble across stuff like that. And it took me getting into this academy to be able to, you know, learn Rich Dad Poor Dad. Perfect. It's a perfect example of being financially educated. You know, so I feel like people need, even if, you know, it's a no, they need to see that this is here. This is an option. You know, if you're tired of being sick and tired, then stop doing that and come here and focus on your actual long-term goals. You know, time freedom is everything. Your time is the one thing you're never going to get back. So spend it wisely, you know?
I feel like you could go on and on, but you're being courteous at time, and I appreciate you. But no, she's absolutely right. So being able to just like, it just makes sense. Like the dual opportunity of being able to, all right, I'm gonna get my money right, and
Mhm.
then I see people struggling. Why can't I share this with them? Yo, let's do this together. Bring people with me, kind of mentality.
Mhm.
You're such a servant leader yourself, and I'm super, super excited to see you like just continue to grow yourself with your trading skill set and help people, because that's something that you're already like really natural about, like just having conversations and relating to people, but you do a really good job at meeting people with where they're at and really
Mhm.
helping them with where they want to go and showing them that vision. So I appreciate you, girl. I'm going to step out of the way. Just one last thing, then I'll let you close it out with any closing thoughts. Guys, actually, let me do this. I'll say that at the end. I'll let you close it out with some thoughts, but maybe anything that I missed, do you want to just share with the people really quick?
I mean, I think we touched on a lot, but yeah, just be consistent and, you can rest, but don't ever quit on your goals. Like, it's good to take a rest day if you're not feeling it, but really don't quit on the goals. Like, just stay consistent because those little habits every day, that's going to get you where you need to go. So just be consistent with those. And remember what we're doing now, 90 days from now, that's what we're going to have. So that's all I got to say.
Facts. The compound effect. Let's go. Awesome, girl. Well, I appreciate you. The last thing I was just gonna say for every single person on here, I just appreciate your time for jumping on, for being here with us. I'm hopefully you guys got some value at the end of this. If you guys have any questions, reach out to me, reach out to whoever shared this with you. Get your questions answered, and then just know that we do these every Sunday, same time. Just to preface the call times for some that don't know, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 9 p.m. Central European Time. I got that right, okay? Those are the times every single Sunday we do these calls, Q&A style, and every Monday through Friday, for those of you that want to share this with people, whether you want to get your membership for free or you actually want to go out and create a residual income for yourself, we do calls Monday through Friday, same time as this, where we give like an overview. It's through Zoom. So you guys can plug people in there, get the information, and just help people. So guys, hopefully you guys have a great Sunday. I appreciate all of you guys. Crush your week. Let's catch these pips, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Peace.